My name is Ellie.
And my name is Ross.
Welcome to our podcast, In Real Life, where we dive deep into life, relationships, and real-world topics.
We promise laughter, tears, and jaw-dropping moments. Well, I don't want to promise it. But
So get ready because this is what it means for us to live in real life. This series will touch on subjects related to suicide and other challenging life experiences. If you're struggling with thoughts of self-harm or suicide, you can reach out to Lifeline Australia at 13 11 14 or reach their website at www.lifeline.org.au. Hi everyone and welcome back to In Real Life, hosted by
welcome.
Ellie, Ross and Daisy, of
Yes.
course. Daisy, say hello. Daisy's here with us. We're coming to you from the Focal Media studio here
On the Gold Coast?
today on the Gold Coast. And today, it's our last episode on
Oh, so sad.
choosing to live child-free.
I've really had a lot of fun chatting with you over these last few episodes.
Yeah, it's been really fun. So many little discussions.
not the end. It's just the beginning.
It's only the beginning. It's all uphill from here. No, but we've had a really good chat about things.
It's all downhill from here, isn't it?
No, but
I was
that's
always
something
confused
I feel
with
like that's
that.
something that Trump would say.
Yeah, I was always confused with that because it's all uphill from here. Uphill
Yeah.
implies hard. Downhill is like, wee.
Yeah.
You're going down.
Anyway.
Anyway.
No, well, you know,
Anyway,
it's also
moving on.
that comment from The Hangover where he's like, my daddy says, oh no, wait, due date? He's like, my daddy says it's all uphill from here. No, the correct
Pretty sure it's
one is downhill.
Yeah.
No, it's uphill. Anyway, back to what we're talking about.
Wait, do you like my fit, by the way?
Ross is rocking the double denim today.
Double denim.
And I came out dressed like this and Ross said, you look like a fucking picnic basket blanket. Or
Well,
the
you're a nice
inside of
one.
a picnic basket.
I'd have a picnic on you. Yeah.
Yeah, you would love that, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, picnic every day.
What are you doing after this episode?
Oh, you know, just going home with you.
Making kids.
Yeah. Having fun pretending to.
Lots
Anyway,
of practice. Lots of practice.
So yeah,
Sorry.
love practicing. But we've had a really, really good discussion on a lot of these reasons and things that we've been talking about living child free and choosing to have that lifestyle. And we've been together for 16 years, but we've also
Nearly
said things here that we actually haven't said to each other in our personal discussions, which I found was
Well, most people don't know we live
really
in separate
nice.
houses. We don't actually see each other during the week.
yeah, we just see each other once a week just for the Instagram pictures to keep up
Yeah.
appearances,
Yeah.
you know.
Happy life.
But you've been very private on Instagram and social media. People don't actually see a lot of you. They see a lot of me, but
Well, I
we've
think people really
kept our
want to
relationship
see.
very private up until now. Really?
Yeah.
Or up until last year when we got married?
I don't think people really want to see much of me on social media.
What do you mean? You're beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I love
Beautiful
that.
face.
Thank you. I love that for you.
You hate it when I say that. But today, we're kind of going through the reactions and reflections on this whole
The feedback from people.
series. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got a few audio notes over the past few weeks. You've been posting, hey, we're recording this weekend. You've sort of been a little bit coy.
I've been very elusive
What
because
do
I'm
you
like,
mean
they don't know what it's actually for. A lot of people, they didn't realize what this was for. But it's for our podcast. So,
So you've asked people to write in questions, comments, thoughts, feelings, whatever.
yeah.
And send in some audio stuff. It did have a minute limit.
Yeah.
So we have only chose people who stuck to that minute.
We did get a few that were 5 minutes long, but we're like,
We also did get a few that
which
were
we do appreciate, by the
15
way.
minutes
It's
long.
that very in depth and very I did love listening to your experiences and your stories and your point of view. We honestly so appreciate you sharing all of that with us. It's always nice to hear from people and have these discussions with people who also care about us. It's really nice.
You know what's funny though? People are very fine with being keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
No audio messages were hate.
Yeah.
There were some comments that were
I was actually very surprised about that because it's anonymous.
Because people are cowards.
Yeah. Well, it's anonymous, and I was
I'm
like,
gonna
I was
sit
expecting
behind
people to be
I'm
like,
gonna sit behind
I
my
fucking hate you,
profile.
you
It's got
dumb
a
bitch.
picture of my cat or a picture of me blurred because of what did we say last episode?
the semen spray.
Come screen.
Come screen. Oh my God! All right, shall we dive into
Let's go.
our listener feedback? We're going to play this first voice note from.
Let's do it.
I don't know who it's from. Hang on.
First voice note
Okay, so I just want to say no shade, no hate at all. If you guys are both committed to not wanting kids, I think that is absolutely amazing. The only bother in my brain is I hope that neither one of you, whether it's in the current future or the future down the road a bit, one of you may change your mind and go, oh, I want kids, but the other one is adamant that they don't. I have heard that can happen to some people. And the only other thing that I would say is having a child, the love you feel for them is like absolutely no other, 100%. Like it's indescribable. However, I feel it's an unrequited love as well. You are so unappreciated as a parent, but yeah, it's like a catch-22. But if this is for you guys, amazing.
That was really nice.
Yeah,
What
that
do you
was
think
really
her
nice.
name is? Should we play a game where we guess her names?
No.
Okay. That was really nice.
Yeah, that was really nice.
She's obviously a very happy mother.
Yeah. Yeah. But like also realize and understands that it is hard and
She has respect.
doesn't sugarcoat it, which I love. Like I find it's very hard when people, and I feel like it's also so obvious when people sugarcoat it. You know, it doesn't feel like it's so genuine when they're like, oh, you know, it's the best thing that's ever happened to me, and I've got no issues and no problems. Like life is full of issues and problems.
Yeah, I mean, that's life.
Yeah, that's
But
life.
she did say, what was the point that she brought up? I really like, what if
What if one of you changes your mind?
Wow.
I don't know.
That would
like,
happen for sure as well.
yeah, I feel like that would
Maybe not
happen
just for
quite
a
often.
relationship. What if like tomorrow I woke up and I just had like this dream, this vision like of like baby Ross came to me and it was like, daddy. And I was like, woke up and I was like, yeah, baby Ross. It's like,
Yeah.
and I was like, Ross Jr.
Yeah.
And then I woke up and I'm like, you know what, babe, I really think that I'd actually really like to have kids.
I would probably I'd be receptive to it. Like I would love to hear your thoughts and reasons why you've changed your mind. And then obviously I'd love to give that like a little bit of time and sit with that and see how I think and feel about that. Because at the end of the day, like I feel like your happiness is paramount to me. I want you to be happy.
Your happiness is paramount. And then mine is like slightly behind that.
Yeah, but
And I think that's fine. I think
it's giving Samantha Jones
should be,
vibes,
like-
and I'm here for it. I love you, but I love me more.
Isn't it like that she's a big whore?
Not like obviously
She, like,
not that part,
she's
Ross.
a bit hoary.
not that part. Not the one where
Jones, I sleep with everyone. Isn't that? Yeah.
that is the Samantha Jones, but that's not the
I've heard
part of
enough
Samantha
Sex
Jones.
in the City in the background that I swear I've lost brain cells.
Yeah. All
Great
right.
show though.
Anyway,
Great for
so
kids.
back to if you changed your mind, I would definitely like open the discussion for it and hear your side, why you feel differently. I would hear you out.
Interesting.
I'd let you make your case because like we're a partnership, but if I also felt like you hadn't made a good enough case, I'd probably just be like, no.
Adjourned.
Yeah, turn, pound that gavel. But no, I would love to hear you out and why you changed your mind. Like I'm open to that because obviously people's minds change, things happen. Like I'm never going to sit here and be like, you know, like never say never, but at the same time, like I think you and I are pretty set in the way that we feel. Just because,
definitely, yeah.
Just because of those experiences that we've gone through.
But I guess I guess the scenario that she proposed was, what if one day one of you change your mind?
Yeah. Because, I mean, people change their minds all the time. Sometimes people say, you know, it's too expensive to have kids and that's the reason why I'm not having them. And then, you know, they might,
Then
their
they win the
financial,
lottery, and
but
they're
yeah,
like,
their financial situation might change and they'd be like, oh my God, I would love to have a kid.
Yeah.
So, you know, that like those things are valid, like when people change their minds. But I think from the experiences that you and I have had, it's just changed our like chemical DNA on another level.
There's probably some scientists that would disagree with it actually changing our chemical DNA.
No, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean, yeah.
You know what I mean.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
like that really changed us and it really changed our view on the world and decisions that we make and all of those things. But I would still hear you out. because I love you so much and like you're my best friend and I want you to be happy. But I also I also wouldn't do something that I wasn't 100% on board with, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like I would hear you out. If I'm 100% on board with it, cool. We're going to keep this kid in a bubble. It's not fucking going anywhere. It's not seeing anyone. It's just going to be happy for the rest of its life and it's going to take care of us when we're older. But like, do you understand what I mean when I'm like, I would, yeah. What would, like, how do you feel about that? If I came to you tomorrow and I was like, I really want a baby.
Honestly, I'd probably similar. Like, yeah, okay. But I would end up probably saying, well, I might not be your person.
Yeah. Yeah, facts.
Fair
enough.
I'd probably say that. Because I do think it would. Yeah, I think it would.
But I think also being honest about that is so great because you're not stringing me along and being like, yeah, okay, let's do it. And then you're not on board with it. And then you end up leaving after I have a kid because it's not for you. You know what I mean?
Well, you've really fucking painted a narrative, eh?
Oh, no. Like, I'm just saying.
Where do I leave? Do I move to like Nebraska or like become a farmer or something?
You would have to move pretty fucking far to get away from me and my wrath if you left me here with a child. I'm just going to say that. Anyway. But yeah, I agree. Like being upfront, if it's not something that I would want, I feel like you have to let that person go if that's going to make them feel happy and fulfilled.
I think you would be more like, I think maybe, I think if I changed my mind, I think you'd be like, oh yeah, maybe, and maybe.
Look, I would let you make your case. I honestly think
if it was the other way around, I hate to sound like a dick, but I would probably be like, never gonna happen, babe. Like.
No, but like, so you would let me make my case, right?
Oh, yeah.
You would hear me out and sit down.
I mean,
it's the same thing that I said to you, but at the end of the day, if I don't feel...
the jury would be stacked against you.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I was also saying to you.
You would be stacked against people who, all 12 jurors would not have kids. Yeah. They would be out, like, picketing places, being like, don't have kids, and you would have a hard time to... I don't think...
no, that's what I was saying. It's like if I was not 100% on board with that, I would tell you.
Yeah.
And that's the way it would be. I wouldn't be someone who would be like easily swayed or like just because he wants to have kids, like, I'm going to give him kids. Because like,
let's give it a go.
I want you to be happy, but I would not do something to make you happy that is as big as that. You know? If I was not
Is there
fully
anything
on board.
bigger than that? Is there anything bigger than that in life?
I don't know. It's definitely one of the biggest life decisions that you would make bringing a kid into the world.
The biggest life decision.
Okay, should we go on to number 2?
Yes, go.
Hey Ellie, my name's Sarah. My husband and I have been together for 20 years this year. We met when we were both 18 and 19, and from about the age of 20, we both decided, hey, why not try a child-free life? It's been the best thing we've ever done. So many people struggle to come to terms with it, including our own family members. But it's quite funny now, as we're about to turn 40 next year, both of us, everyone's quite envious of the position we're in. And we are very, very, very happy with our decision. And it's quite funny, as we got older, probably as we both got over 35, people realised we weren't going to grow out of this. This is something that we've chosen, and we couldn't be happier. So good on you for being an advocate for those of us who choose a child-free life. There's nothing wrong with us. We're living our best lives. Take care. Bye.
That's really nice.
That's nice.
I'm like, that's all I ever hope. And this is why I shared the list, because I was like, I hope someone out there just feels seen by this. It's like, why ever share anything?
I kind of feel like she didn't need to be seen. I kind of feel like she was
but
like she
sometimes it's just nice to feel a bit like validated amongst people and like feel a part of a community that
fit and child free. How fit do you reckon that? You reckon they got abs?
Yeah, definitely. Fuck. Probably got a 12-pack.
I got some work to do.
But no, I think it's nice for people to feel a part of like a community and feel seen and heard, and that's what I hope people only ever take from my stuff that I share, like share about my dad and how I got through that and all of those things, those really personal things. Like I hope they just, like someone just takes something really good away from that for themselves, whether they learn a lesson about it or they feel like validated or like whatever it is. That's just what I hope to achieve by posting stuff that I do.
When you share your stuff about selling Sunset, what do you hope people take from that? What life lessons are you trying to impart?
Well, I'm just like to share my opinion sometimes.
Oh, you definitely do.
You know, very opinionated about
That was really nice.
as
It's nice to hear
women
that they've been together 20 years.
Yeah, that's actually.
happy.
Do you know what? That's actually
So they made the
beautiful for
decision-
us to hear when you hear experiences from people who have been together so long and they're now like in their 50s, still loving life, still enjoying life.
She said they're about to turn 40.
Oh,
Yeah, they got together when they were like
Well, I don't
18,
think she
19
said
or
in
something.
her 50s.
So maths,
yeah.
20, nearly 40.
But it is nice. Like I have seen a few other little comments from people.
I wonder what led them to make that. Genuinely, I wonder. That was anonymous, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can't reach out to them. I wonder
Yeah.
what led them to, like, both at the same time, very young too. Like,
Yeah.
we were a few years on from that when we sort of came to that
Because they're like
conclusion.
10 years older than us.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's,
Well,
very interesting.
3 years older than me.
Yeah.
8 years
Oh,
older
yeah,
than you.
you're almost
so.
40. Old man.
I think you're just bad at maths.
Oh, shut up.
All right, next one. Next one.
Okay.
Hi, Ellie. Hi. My name's Lily. I'm Australian. I live in Dublin, Ireland with my Irish husband. 52 years old. Child-free by choice. There's a lot of negativity, especially in Ireland, I find, because it's such a Catholic country and everybody has kids, and the country is actually quite children focused, and if you don't have a child, it's a very negative thing. People automatically assume things like I couldn't have kids or I'm selfish, and I'm assuming a lot of the assumptions are made to you as well. Now I'm in my 50s. Do I have regrets? Not really. I have questions, maybe. Would I have been a good mum? Would it have changed my life? When you're young and you're busy and you're traveling and you're doing so many things that didn't fit into my life, would they fit into my life a little bit better now? I'm not sure, but we're planning on retiring next year. Wouldn't
Oh, we've lost her.
My God, such a heavy, big subject, and I only get 60 seconds to record. Anyway, yes, planning on retiring next year. Would not have been able to do that if we had children. We have a very good life. We have, I hate to say it, but we're financially stable at such a young age where most of our friends will be paying their mortgages until they're in their probably early 70s. I do find a lot of my friendships have changed. Friends that have kids and are doing stuff. They can't travel as much. They can't afford to go to the restaurants that I go to. They can't afford a lot of the things that I do. And my money's freed up because it's all mine. That probably sounds absolutely terrible. But yeah, so everything's different. Now, people also make the massive assumption that I do not like children. I love children. I equally love giving them back. I prefer dogs. That's just me. That's who I am. They also assume that me and my husband are not a family because we don't have children, but we're just as much of a family as anyone else. We're just a different type of family.
I love that.
Can you answer this being Irish? Could you do an
No,
Irish accent?
you know my accents are so bad. They're literally
hilarious.
My
They're
Christopher
so
Walken
bad,
one.
they're funny. Yeah.
Okay, I literally laugh like someone with a person with
don't know if I
emphysema.
don't
So
think
like,
I can
let's
do an
not
Irish
do
accent.
this laughing.
That was
at them.
really nice. 52 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so valid that you would have questions when you would, but I think if you
Didn't
look
sound
back
like
and-
there were questions of, it didn't sound like she was regretting anything.
No, I think, would I be a good mother? But I think people who who question themselves on those things are the kinds of people who would be. You know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They put so much, like, I've thought about
Sounds like she's
that.
happy with her choices, but
Yeah.
maybe just thought, what if? Like,
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
nothing wrong with wondering what if.
Yeah. But it's nice to hear, like, that, people who are, she was in her 50s. It's nice to hear that people are just sitting there and just, like, enjoying their life. And, we
Sounds
love
like
our
she is.
dogs. Huh?
Sounds like she is.
Yeah. And then also the fact that people don't think her and her husband are a family. But
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I think I feel like that's a little bit of a sad judgment that people make that they're not a family just because they don't have children.
Yeah.
Like you and I, we're family. You are my family now,
Incest.
Can you not fucking be serious for
I'm
2
just saying.
seconds? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no.
But I feel like that is kind of sad that people judge that you're not a complete family without children,
Yeah.
which, again, I disagree with. I don't think that, having having a kid makes you a family. Like,
yeah, who decides? Like, is there like some fucking rule book that says, family? Well, there probably is actually. There's, I guess, a dictionary. Like, what is a family actually?
But you and I have like a very full life together. And from the sounds of it, they do as well. So it's like...
Sounds like she does. Sounds like she has a fucking great family. All right, next one.
Perfect. Let's go.
Okay, I only have 60 seconds. So, amazing. I love this topic because I think it's really, really important that more people talk about it. I think that, the question is always, are you going to regret it later, towards, couples that choose not to have kids? But I think something that's even more fascinating that I've found, because I'm somebody that doesn't have kids, and every now and again I do come across a parent who opens up to me in a very honest way and tells me how they actually regret having kids. And I think that that's flipping the conversation around completely, because nobody talks about what happens if you regret having kids, not the common question of what happens if you regret not having kids. I hope I've said that correctly. But yes, so I think that that's a really, really important topic to also talk about. Is it's not just about regretting not having kids, it's regretting having kids, for those that do choose to have kids.
Yeah, such a fair comment. How many discussions have we had with people with kids that have regretted?
I don't actually think I've had any. I feel like I've had an inkling that they've wanted to be like, you know what? Like, they might have said it as like a bit of a joke and been like, oh, fucking the kiss, oh, it's so much more. But I feel like what they're really wanting to say is like, fucking kids, if I could do it again, I would not do it. But I feel like even there's fear of judgment.
People who have said...
Not from me. I don't think I've had like face-to-face conversations.
Oh, well, I definitely have. Before...
Well, you're more popular.
When I was like making that list, I was asking people when we were like really deciding whether we wanted to have kids or not. I would ask people, like, if you had your time over, would you do it again? Sometimes over drinks. So, people loosen up
Mostly
a
over drinks.
Yeah. And I've had so many people just say, yeah, like, look, if I had my time over again, I wouldn't do it. And so many more people on social media have sent me DMs and like very in depth. Like, it's the vulnerability that people have shown. Like, I'm essentially a stranger to them. And what they've shared with me has been just so personal. And I find it really beautiful that people are just so open and honest. So hopefully someone can take something away from their lesson, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it definitely happens. And, I think sometimes people's experiences, they're like, I was pressured. I felt very pressured. I felt like this was the way I was supposed to live my life. This was expected of me. My parents really wanted me to have children, or my father and mother-in-law wanted me to have children. I felt like I just had to, and then I did, and it wasn't what I was expecting. And
father and mother-in-law. What about their mother?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
No, you said your father and mother-in-law.
Yeah. Your father and mother-in-law and your parents. I said...
And your mother-in-law. So you've just cut the mother out of the picture and the father-in-law out of the picture, and you've gone straight to...
No, your father and mother-in-law and then your parents. So like their parents and their partner's parents.
I took that as your father and your mother-in-law.
Do you need a coffee or something?
Maybe. You need an espresso.
But yeah, like I get that. I get that a lot from people. Like they share their experiences. They're like, I really did not think enough into making this decision because it was so big, and now like the kid's here and I can't do anything about it.
How do you not put like the most amount of thought into this decision?
Well, we're raised not to, really.
That's not
people are. No, I'm not saying that's an excuse. I'm just saying we're raised not to really ask questions about that stuff.
This should be the most like this should be something if you like, if you're thinking, I don't know, if you're thinking about it, if you think it's going to happen over.
Can you put our child up on your seat, please? She's begging.
Do you want to come and sit with me?
Begging.
No, she probably just wants some treats or something. If you're thinking about it, like if you're considering it, I would imagine that like it is. Oh, you finally make a noise. Just chill.
Daisy says hi, everyone.
If you're thinking about it, I think like this is something you have a conversation. Like I would assume you have a conversation about it like every fucking night for 3 or 4 hours a night, and like exploring like how's this going to make you feel? Are we prepared for this? What are your values? What are you? This is the thing. I think and maybe this is stuff that we touch on in some later episodes, but I think when people get into relationships, they don't discuss like, what does it take, your rules and your beliefs.
Yeah. Like when you and I got together, we were so straight up about like what we wanted in life, what we wanted from a relationship, what we expected, like what our standards were. We were so great at communicating to each other. Like, this is what we want.
What is it?
This is what I want.
What does it take? This is what it takes for me to feel loved and appreciated. Like, if I communicate that with you, I've given you like the rule book, and you can either decide to go with that or not.
Yeah.
But at least I've given you the opportunity. Yeah. And I think a lot of people, I don't know, do a lot of people go into like kids being like, oh, it's going to be beautiful and awesome and whatever, but they don't actually discuss like, okay, this is what I believe, how I would like to raise my child. I would want to discuss those things for like several fucking years probably before I like decide to bring a child and then be like, cool, so we're leaving it with, granny.
But then you hear all the stories of people's parents getting involved, and all of that. Like, that would actually send me wild.
See, I think those challenges happen because the partners possibly haven't had very clear communication. Like, I don't want our child to be raised like this. Do you agree with that? Yeah. No, I don't. Okay, well, let's have a discussion. Yes, I do. All right, well, great. Well, we agree on that. If this happens, then we just extract that child, and we don't leave it at Granny Smith's apples. I just sort of like
come up with these names.
All right, next one. Next one.
Hello, I completely respect and understand your decision to be child-free. I personally don't think anyone should ever be judged for making that choice. Either way, we're all human and all capable of making our own life decisions. I guess I'm kind of in the same position where part of me sees the benefits of both sides. I feel that having a child could be a massive stress, and it will potentially alter who I am and change my entire life. And that's kind of the point, right? But I love my life, and I want to succeed as a female in my business and in my goals and in, my work and my career. But having a child will put a halt in that, and I'm fully aware of that. But then I also feel like I want to be a mother. Those questions and those thoughts in your head that make you wonder what if and what way is the right way to go.
Wow. Fence sitter.
Yeah. It sounds like she's putting thought into it at least.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, someone sitting on the fence, they don't know if they do or they don't. I feel like I can't
really answer that because from my perspective,
well, look, as a woman,
it
I totally
affects
understand.
a guy differently than it does, because as we've discovered, Arnold Schwarzenegger did not give birth in his documentary.
That's going to be the cover photo of this fucking episode.
And you could be Danny DeVito.
I'm not going to be fucking Danny DeVito, you idiot.
That's twins. There's a totally different movie. It says a different movie.
Christ. No, I totally understand that. That's actually something that actually really played on my mind earlier on before we decided we didn't want to have kids. I'm like, fuck, like, what am I going to do with my career? Like, how am I going to work? What am I going to do if I decide to have a child? That's 9 months off, like, minimum, to be pregnant, to have the kid.
Yeah, but haven't you seen, like, a lot of people's like social media blow up, and like they've almost like milked the kid to be like, oh, this is part of my
this is
business
back
now.
in my 20s, Ross. Like, if I was looking at, like, this is before 25, right? So when we were considering having a family, when I was like 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, that was something that I always thought, I'm like, where would my career go? Like, and if I wanted to raise this child, like, how would I work? Like, what would I do? It's definitely a very, very difficult decision to make as a woman when you do love your life. You love the way things are. You love the way, like, your career is and where it's going. It is just one of those things that, like, could you have a kid and make it work as well at the same time? Like, just depends on your, I think it depends on also your career.
Oh, for sure.
But
if you're a FIFO, that would be pretty hard.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. But leave little baby Ellie with you off to, drive some trucks.
Like, I've seen a lot of people have both. It definitely is a choice. I'm not going to say sacrifice because it's a choice.
You're always sacrificing something with any choice.
Yeah, but it's it's your choice. It's your decision. It's your choice. And you know, obviously you can't always put 100% into everything. So it's got to be sort of, you know, 80% you're focusing on your career for a time where it really excels, and you've, you know, got someone looking after the kids, picking the kids up from school, and you're coming home and you're spending a bit of time with them when they're at home, but someone's taking care of them so you can do your job efficiently, best way possible. Like, it's just about a matter of figuring out what you truly want, I think, in my opinion, making it work.
You know who did, I think, really well about on the journey of like motherhood and turning that into a business. She mentioned her business, Jessica Alba.
Yeah, she actually did.
She went from being an actress, movie star,
Yeah.
to creating a fucking giant company, which probably makes her more money than acting ever would.
Yeah.
And I think they came about from her actually having a child. Gwyneth Paltrow, sort of similar, yeah?
No, Goop isn't. Well, The Honest Company, Jessica Alba's company, was based on baby products, like healthy baby products, because there was so many toxins in all the all the baby products and everything out there. So she decided to make that, and it's grown into something completely different.
That's very cool.
But yeah, I find that really cool when
so you can have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, it just takes like a lot of hard work and tough choices, I think. But some people can make it work. You know, obviously, I think again, you can't put 100% into absolutely everything. So you've got to be able to understand that you're not going to be able to put 100% into your kids and 100% into your business, 100% into your relationship. Like, something's got to give.
There's too many percents.
And understanding.
There's too much percents.
The percents are not computing in my brain. But I'm saying, like, you've got to understand where you want to put all of your, or like change your energy to.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're working a little bit harder on your business, just figuring out how to make that work, having kids, having a husband or a wife or whatever, making that work.
Yeah. All right, next one.
I've often thought about being child-free, but I just think in the future I'd regret it. And I'm not at that point where we want kids yet, but I feel like in maybe 2 years, when I'm 33 or 34, that's when, you know, I'll be ready, and I really want to create my own family to spend Christmases with. And obviously I have my little fur baby, but bless him, he's not going to be around forever. And I think you hit a stage in your life where everyone else has got families, and you kind of feel like on your own a little bit. So I'm excited to see like mini me's and mini me and my husband's running around. But I definitely feel it's about support. Like, I feel like we would have a nanny, or like a part-time nanny, or my husband's parents would be able to help. My mum, unfortunately, is not in good health, so she can't really help. But I feel like that's the biggest thing, because kids are such they tire you out, but I feel like they're rewarding.
What I would say, is you go off and have a think about it for like 3 or 4 more years, and you'll be right.
You do that accent so well, but you were born there. Yeah, like I think that
she
definitely
seems like she knows what she wants to do.
Yeah, I feel like she's leaning towards more having children.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Because she's like, you know, it's worth it.
It doesn't sound like there was any pressure there. It just seemed like maybe there was a little bit of like, maybe just like what I would imagine is like natural that, but what if maybe is it?
Yeah, is it for me? Is it not for me? Like,
seems like she's 95.5.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's so normal. I feel like a lot of people are sitting there thinking, do I change my life? I love it. Or, you know, do I see my life going in this certain direction more?
Part-time nanny, good on her.
Yeah. God, I would.
You must be killing it. Living the dream.
Full-time nanny. Do the washing, do the laundry. I know that's like probably like more of a like house. What are they called? Like it's like a house nanny. It's like a house nanny. Like a
cleaner?
No, not
maid?
not a maid. It's like a so like the royal family have it. You know, the person that runs
Butlers?
the household. It's
servants?
No, not servants. Fuck's sake. Stop. I hate it when you do that. You put all these
Denzel
words
Washington?
into my head when
What?
I'm trying to figure out what the word is. Fuck you. I don't know what that word is. So we're
Soldiers?
we're going on to the next one.
Hi, Ellie and Ross. I am absolutely with you guys. No children, no thank you. I just think it's such a terrifying concept. that we would have to raise them in this current environment, like the Instagram, social media, the lack of disrespect children have these days. You can't sleep in whenever you want. It's just a whole other responsibility that never goes away. And that's just something I don't want to sign up for, and my partner doesn't want to sign up for. We've been together for nearly 9 years, and, you know, I don't think it's a make or break type of thing, and I don't like the pressure that comes with it from people. So that's a decision we've made. And people turn around and say, well, you have to have children. It's going to change your life. That's what you're put on the earth to do.
So fucking fair. Like, all of those points, she doesn't want to change her life. Like, she doesn't want to give in to the pressure. Like, it's not somebody else's decision. It's their decision. And if she just wants sleep, and the power to her. Because fuck being hungover and having to deal with children or being sick, like, isn't...
It's the least of their worries.
Oh, man.
But
like,
it is...
But I think of that sometimes. I'm like, can you... Like, you and I wake up next to each other after a big night and we're like, could you imagine if we had a child jumping on us?
A few times a year when...
Yeah. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, no.
Sounds like she's still in the honeymoon period. 9 years, amateur.
Yeah.
Like,
wait till you get to
getting
16.
double digits. Like, it really gets tough. Jesus.
We do have a couple of questions.
So that's all the audios?
Yeah, that's all the audios. We've got some written questions,
we selected
though.
a few. I don't know how many it was. I thought it was, what was that?
These
8,
are more
9?
questions, I think, though the audios were not so much questions, but like just more feedback from listeners about the list and all that kind of stuff. But we have...
No guys.
Yeah.
No guys
we actually have a couple
to send
of guys
in their audios. Cowards. There was a lot of guys who wanted to send hate shit on your post.
Oh yeah, they love to do that. Wouldn't want to be on a podcast though with their real voice where people could tell who they are.
Come screaming.
So this is from Ellie Dickinson 93. I am so undecided. Do you think it's worth embryo freezing as a backup option as a safeguard? Look, I think you should do what feels right for you. If it makes you feel safe in your decision, absolutely do it.
I'd say do it. I think it's an insurance policy. If you're like undecided, for sure, it's an insurance policy. Do you drive your car around without insurance?
Yeah, no.
Some people do.
Yeah.
Reckless.
If you still don't know,
definitely, I would say yes.
Yeah,
I would
just
say
do
yes.
it.
Not advising anyone.
Yeah,
This is not,
I did have a couple of questions from people saying,
by the way,
like,
straight on
had
the
I?
camera, this is not financial advice or any investment advice at all, but I would definitely advise to get an insurance policy if you're undecided.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have seen a couple of people ask me if I have frozen my embryos, my eggs, which I've decided not to. Just a personal decision. Like if, in 10 years I decide maybe I want kids, but I don't know. Like I could try, but it's not something that I feel like is right for me. However, if you are on the fence and you are sort of Daisy's growling. But yeah, it's not something that I felt was right for me, so I haven't.
Okay.
Mine might change in a year, in 2 years, I don't know. I go with the flow.
I would have no problem with you if you decided to change your eggs. I don't think you do that. Freeze your eggs. I'd have no problem if you were like, I'm going to freeze my eggs.
Just in case.
Like in case, you wind up in a ditch or something and then it's too late and then I find someone even better.
Or if I die and you just want a little mini me running around.
You were enough. I reckon I would spend
I am definitely
however
enough.
many years of my life trying to recover from. No, I'm joking. All right, Emily Harley would love Daisy.
Naughty girl.
I think
you want to say hello? You're very vocal on this episode.
Emily Harley would love to hear you came to the decision as a couple. We're going through it. I'm assuming she's going through it with her partner.
Yeah.
Emily, listen to the previous 3 episodes. Please and thank you.
Yeah, no. Well, we came to the decision
different experiences.
Different experiences.
Life experiences led us to...
We check in with each other all the time.
Check yourself.
Yeah, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Yeah. But we check in with each other all the time about things like life experiences, life decisions. It's something that Ross and I talk about all the time. So
but honestly, I think it's like, if you listen to like the last couple episodes, I think
you'll understand
it sort
why.
of sums that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very hard to sort of say it in one line, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever wonder who will be there as your family when you're in your 80s and need a little help?
No,
No.
don't care.
So to me, my chosen family and the people that I want in my life are you and my friends. My friendships are closer, more like they've treated me better than some family members have. Oh, Daisy.
Daisy is having a like
coughing attack.
A nice coughing fit. Yeah.
But the people that I've chosen to have in my life are there for a reason, and they're the kinds of relationships that I will invest in over all the years ages that I grow to, and intend on having around me when I'm old and need help.
I don't wonder either. I don't wonder, and I also don't care who will or who won't be there. I think it'll be a reflection of the life that I've lived. If there's good cunts around,
I would also never want,
because I've been a good person. If there isn't anyone around, then maybe I need to look back and be like, maybe I was a shithead. It doesn't faze me.
Yeah. And also, like, if we do need help later on down the line, then we would find someone to help us, and it wouldn't be a child. It's not someone that we would guilt into taking care of us. Be like, I need help.
Well, they wouldn't be a child at that point, would they?
Well, no.
I mean, unless you had them when you were like 17.
Yeah, like your kid, whatever, child, kid, like your kid.
Right,
yeah. Like, I would feel bad if my kid was felt like they had to take care of me.
Yeah, because I reckon a lot of kids would feel like that. Anyway, Ellie Bella 91, that was. Linda Alismain?
Yeah, Linda Alismain.
Do you get annoyed when other people only or almost always just talk about their kids? Nah, not really. I don't really care.
Look,
I get it.
Like my friends, I'm invested in my friends and their happiness. So like what makes them happy makes me happy. So if they're talking about their kids, if they're trying to talk about their relationships, whatever, like I'm about their happiness.
Yeah, like I like sharing in the joys of my friends. Like, and generally, like, excuse me, if their kids are, well, if they've got kids, generally one of the things that's most prominent in their life are kids.
Yeah.
It's like, and they talk about them and the stupid shit that they do and
we
say
have people,
and whatever. It's like, that's cool.
We have people around us who have really young kids who are like in their teenage phase, in their late teenage phase, some in their 20s, some in their 30s.
We have friends who have kids that are like the same age as us.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see it on all different age brackets. And honestly, like what makes my friends and the people around me happy, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
Like I love talking about your kids because they're cute and funny and just, if you're having problems, whatever.
No problems here. Marissa D'Agostino. I'm at a halfway point. How long were you in limbo with the decision, if you ever were? Ooh.
Nah, I wasn't in limbo. After Dad died, I was like, I definitely don't want children.
Yeah, I think that was like...
I was like, I'm just going to opt out of this.
Pardon the pun, but nail in the coffin.
Yeah, it was.
Dark.
Absolutely. It was the nail in the coffin. Yeah. I was like, I don't want to move through this life with a kid. Like, I'm fucking happy, like where I am and what I'm doing.
But I think up until that point, so, like when we got together 18 to 25, so there's 7 years there.
Yeah.
I think there was like talks of and like thoughts, and we probably made like, conversations about kids and, we're going to have,
But again, I think you need to separate the difference of thinking you want kids to actually wanting kids. And you need to have that really honest conversation with yourself and not just diving in, just being like, I want kids because that's what I should do.
Well, I think at that point we were just sort of thinking that that's what we were going to do.
Yeah.
But also at that point, we sort of thought, but also we just thought never made it a priority at that point in time. We always thought, okay, career now. And then I think that we sort of thought when you get to around 30, maybe we
also weren't married yet. And I think in my head, I was like, I would get married before I would have kids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, true. Yeah. we live with each other. We do
like,
life. So it's like,
look, we do it every now and again on so many things. Like you and I communicate so well. I think that's
reckon
definitely
every week
one of.
I ask you, do you want to try a bit of steak? And you're just like, no, I'm still a pescatarian. I'm fine, thank you.
And I have been pescatarian for the last 12 years.
Yeah, but you would like it. You gave it a go.
But to our merit, you and I are very good communicators, and I didn't come from a background of being a good communicator from my family experiences, so that was something that I learned and took from you.
When we met, you were sign languaging me. You were literally signing me from afar. I swear that's how you reeled me in.
Anyway.
Like, what's she trying to say? And you were signing me.
Shut up.
It was a loud club though.
No, but I was still young, wasn't the best communicator, but I learned so much from you, how to navigate through our relationship by communicating better, because from my experiences, I had been used to fights in the household with my parents. Like they would have fight, like my mum would get really fired up and then my dad would get really fired up. And that was sort of what I was kind of used to when things would go wrong. It's like you expect the blow up. So now I communicate.
Communicate first.
Yeah. You and I and don't get me wrong, we still have fights about things when we get really heated. It doesn't happen a lot, but we have over the years had heated discussions about certain things.
Makeup sex though.
What?
Great makeup sex.
Yeah, well, we do, yeah. That's the best part of making out.
I swear sometimes you pick a fight just to be like, this is going to be so good.
Just some angry sex. But yeah, we are, and to our credit, we are great communicators. And I think that's something that we always go back to about any big decision in our lives. And if we feel differently on something, we raise it with one another. But I think this is one of those things that we just know. You and I know. And if things changed, we would have that conversation.
Yeah, I mean, we do have conversations all the time. That was EBJB. Thank you. Next one is Keela Martin. My partner wants kids, but I'm adamant that I don't. Could you touch on that?
This is
just
a
get
tough
rid of
one.
them.
This is a tough
Honestly, poison or...
What the fuck? Please, nobody. This is not
professional advice.
It's not professional advice.
Straight down the camera again.
For legal
advice.
Reasons, this is not
Please
professional advice.
Please see the T's and
Fuck's
C's
sake.
and read our disclaimers.
Yeah, very, very well. This is a hard one.
That's fucking tough.
Yeah, being with someone who wants children and that you don't.
My partner wants kids, but I'm adamant that I don't.
Honestly, I feel like if it's a really big deal breaker, and this is something that you have to communicate to each other, if this is a really big deal breaker.
It would be, for sure. I mean, that would be...
Well, does he kind of want kids, or does he really want kids? Is that a deal breaker for him?
My partner wants kids, but I'm adamant that I don't.
She's adamant that she doesn't.
Sounds like he wants kids.
Okay, well,
sounds like she doesn't want kids.
Hey, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. No. He might not really want them.
No, she did. She wasn't like, my partner's not, she's like, my partner wants kids.
Well, I'm saying hypothetically, on what scale they want them, you still need to have a sit-down discussion about your future together. Had discussions. About your future, but you need to see what that looks like. You can't just keep going because your relationship is constantly in limbo.
Yeah.
What are they going to do when they get to a point where he's like, I want kids, and she's like, no, I don't want them.
That's really tough, Miss.
So I think that's something that you've got to, you got to navigate together and be like, okay, well, what happens if I don't want children and we don't move forward having kids? What does that look like?
That's the question she's asking.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying you've got to communicate with each other and figure out a plan. Are you listening to me?
Yeah, I am, but you're repeating her question, but in different ways.
I'm not. I'm saying that you need to have a conversation about what the future looks like.
No, I feel like she's had the conversation, and part of the reason that she's sent this question is because
don't assume, Ross. Maybe they haven't had that conversation. He's just said, I want to have kids. I don't want to. So you just have to sit down, and then also if he does want kids and she doesn't, and that's a deal breaker for their relationship, then I feel like it's something, a conversation you've got to have. It's like, okay, well, are you the right person for me? Is this the right person for me? Do I find someone who also doesn't want to have children? Is this man going to give up having kids for me? I feel like people love each other so much, but then they're like, it's that road not taken feeling for someone who doesn't want them?
I don't know, but
does want them?
All I would say is, lots of healthy conversations around why you do, why you don't.
Yeah.
What would it mean if we did? What would it mean if we didn't? Just like explore the fuck out of it.
Just be really clear.
Yeah. Kind of be like John Mayer, like your body is a wonderland. Imagine like.
How did you get there? What do you mean your body is a wonderland?
Because I imagine what he's implying is like explore the fuck out of each other's body.
He just wants to put a baby in her.
I don't know. How many kids does John Mayer have? Does he have kids?
I don't know, Ross, but we're going off topic.
Anyway,
we've got
explore it. And
have those really difficult
maybe
conversations.
Maybe get a third person involved. Not like a threesome, but like a counsellor.
Definitely a counsellor.
Maybe that's what you. No, but
definitely
maybe have a chat with someone and
I agree.
Try and
a counsellor is someone who's so good at being being non-biased in the conversation and the decision, and someone who can help direct that conversation to navigate it to a good point.
Yeah,
because that's something that you and I have taken away from counselling, couples counselling, individual counselling that we've had for years. I think it's so positive, and it really, really helps understand each other's perspectives, especially when you feel so passionate about something. The way that a counsellor can help you see it from their perspective is so great. And I feel like people can get pretty heated in discussions as well. So it's just good to have someone mediate. But lots of healthy conversations. And if you need to get someone involved in those conversations, like a counsellor, I would highly recommend.
Yeah, I think that's helpful.
Yeah. But
last
question. Hypothetically, what would you both do? How would you both feel if you were to fall pregnant? This question's directed at me because you can't fall pregnant.
True. But I do control it.
Yeah, you do. You absolutely do. Do we want to dive into this? Like surprise pregnancies, all those kind of, when someone says it's a surprise.
It's never a surprise. Like there's one actual thing that has to happen in order for you to get pregnant.
Yeah.
And it's not a surprise. It's like the same thing. Like, yeah. What do you need to... Yeah.
Blow the load.
Yeah.
Let's put it
right up in
plain
there.
and simple,
right
black and white.
Yeah.
Like it's the man's responsibility. However, something that no one except my doctor knows, like I went in, when we got married, I was expected to get my period on the day of our wedding. And I went into the doctors and I was like, can you give me the pill to delay my period? I know this is TMI for like guys listening, but I don't care. This is real life. So I don't get my period on the wedding day.
Actually in real
life. And then afterwards as well for like, a couple of days after. And she was like asking me all these questions. She's like, yeah, I can. Why don't you just take your, not take your sugar pills on the pill? So she just automatically assumed that I was on the pill, which I haven't been. And I actually can't take the pill because it makes me extremely sick. I've had like 3 different brands. Like when we first started dating, I would take the pill and my body would throw it up. It would just reject it. So I couldn't even effectively take the pill and have it work for me. So she was like, oh, and I just said, I'm not on the pill. And she's like, oh, why is that? And I told her why. And she's just like, oh, okay. So like, do you have a Mirena? And she started asking me about all these contraceptives. And I was like, no, I don't have anything. She's like, what do you do so you don't get pregnant? And I was like, we don't do anything. Like he just makes sure.
He doesn't be his L in my V.
Yeah, and effective. Like we have never had a scare. I've never been worried that I've been pregnant ever. Like we've always been extremely cautious. So, we've never had a problem there about an accidental pregnancy. If I were to be pregnant, though, to your question, like it's something that we would discuss. It's not something that I would just go and make a rash decision.
You got very much like almost cornered. I want to say cornered because there was a little escape route and you like took it. But you were on radio. When the list came out, remember that radio interview? And I swear she was doing it in the hope that you like then like just walked into this like, oh, and she would do this, like, because as we know,
it was like it was like they wanted to have a viral radio moment that set them apart from all the other interviews that were happening. That
elephant in the room,
be like scandalous.
Elephant in the room talking about abortion.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like massively prevalent at the moment with like the US election.
Yeah,
like that's a huge talking point. It's dividing a nation or whatever.
But she outright asked me. She goes, and look, it was like a fun interview. It wasn't like super serious. It wasn't the platform nor the place to ask me a question like this. But she said, you know, what would you do if you did feel pregnant? Expecting me to say like have Ross push me down the stairs and like stick a fucking coat hanger up my vagina,
brutal.
like take the DNC. But like, what do you like? Is that what you want me to say?
DNC, but what is that?
It's like an abortion. An abortion
like
pill.
the morning after pill.
No, it's like an abortion pill.
DNC, isn't that like the thing that they just did with the election?
I think. Can we fact check that? Is it called a DNC?
Yeah, well, let's
like
check it out.
the pills that they make you take. I'm pretty sure it is, or it's a DNC operation.
That's a Democratic National Convention, right? That was the thing that
I think it's called a DNC. I'm pretty sure it's called a DNC.
Oh,
anyway, I feel like that's what I'm like. Is that what you fucking want me to say? Like for your radio moment, it actually really pissed me off because it really pissed me off because it was so fucking inappropriate to ask someone that on a radio show. Luckily, I knew how to answer that because
you're a professional.
I'm a professional. I'm media trained. But I thought, what a fucked up thing to put on a woman in like turn that and make it such an uncomfortable, like it left a really bad taste in my mouth. And I felt like it was just such a not for the girls kind of comment, you know? It was like, I want
not
this.
for radio.
Yeah, not for
radio without preparation. Like you probably wouldn't, I mean, I don't know what girl code is or whatever, but I don't think a dude would like throw another dude under the bus like that. If they had
I felt like that was what was happening.
I'm going to get this bitch.
Yeah.
Let's see how she handles this curveball.
Yeah, I felt like, and that's how I felt it was directed at me. And I thought, fuck, what an inappropriate thing to say to someone. It was live radio as well. Well, I just said, if that were to happen, it's something that a decision that my husband and I would speak about privately. Period.
What do you think?
I should have just said, fuck you, and hung up the phone.
Mic drop.
Like, I really do feel like, I live my life so publicly. And sometimes I feel like people feel like they have such access, like full access to me. And I think there are some things that should be considered like private, especially on that platform.
I don't know. I think it was a pretty big topic. I think she knew what she was doing. I think she knew how to probably maybe try and get a soundbite or a grab or whatever. Yeah,
because everyone would have been talking about it. It would have been very controversial, depending on how I would have answered it.
What would you do? Daisy, seriously, children.
Can you pick her up,
the
please?
Bathroom or something?
Pick her up.
Hey, come here.
She just wants attention.
Daisy.
Come here.
Come here.
Yeah, no, what would I do? Daisy, you need to just relax and settle down. To be honest, that would be a discussion that you and I would have.
Obviously. That's not the question. That's not the answer. What would you do? What do you think you would do?
Well, look, it's something that...
Because I'm happy to say what I would support you in doing and what I would not encourage you because it's your own body, your own choice. But I would also, if that was to happen, I would first of all think, fuck, my bad.
Yeah.
Because the only way for you to get pregnant is for me to be my L in your V.
You fucking love that term, don't you?
Yeah.
You love that term.
So I would be like, fuck, okay, well, I fucked up. That's my bad. And I would, the only thing I could do...
Well, it would be on both of us because of...
Well, not really. I mean, I think
we're both doing as well.
It ends up being my, like, what I sort of inflicted. Mm-hmm. I call it inflicted. But the only thing I could do would be to support you in your choice because it is then your body, your choice.
Yeah.
Which is huge.
Yeah, huge.
Huge decision.
Look.
So what would be? I don't want to throw you under that. But it's your like.
Well, this is our space to be able to speak.
I would support either you saying, you know what, I'm going to raise this child and I'm going to raise little Ross and little Ross he's going to be fucking awesome. Or little Ellie.
I'm going to dress him in double denim exclusively all the time.
Or triple denim or quadruple denim. Yeah. Or if you were to say, you know what, I don't think I'm going to have this child and I think I'm going to go.
Look, I think that I would actually have to be pregnant to make that decision.
Yeah, okay.
In all fairness, like right now, hypothetically, I wouldn't have the child.
Yeah.
However, I might feel differently if I was pregnant.
Once that experience happens.
Yeah, I don't think I can speak.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I can fairly speak to that without being in that situation.
Yeah.
You know? But hypothetically, it would not be like I wouldn't do that to myself. I wouldn't do that to you because I know that you don't want that.
But probably the same. I mean, it'd be like maybe things change if you are presented with that situation. So
yeah, look, who knows? Like,
what a bombshell to finish up on.
Fuck, I know it's actually really heavy, but
wow.
but yeah, I mean, like, I see these are the kinds of things that also like those chats and stuff that people feel entitled, those questions that people feel entitled to asking in those situations. It's like it would be nice to have had those approached with like a bit more grace and mindfulness, whereas I think a lot of people, just
a bit more respect,
kindness and respect.
A bit more understanding.
But like, I think hypothetically, speaking from like a hypothetical point of view right now, what circumstances would you consider having a child under if there were to be any? Because I know that that's been a bit of a big question from people as well.
I honestly couldn't see any.
Yeah.
For me?
Yeah.
I honestly couldn't see any circumstance that I would consider having a child. I can't see any life experience happening that would change my mind, to be honest.
So fair.
You?
No, not really. Not without erasing like the experiences that led us to this position. Because I'm so fucking happy, and we have so much peace now after the horrific couple of years that we went through that were just so stressful and so just awful. Like they were so hard. Seeing you struggle and you seeing me struggle and both of us struggling together. We're like trying to keep it together. But I think we did all the work to really get to a really, really good place of peace and happiness, which I'm just like, I'm really grateful for. And I'm so grateful that I have you to share that experience with, and you've been there with me through all of those things. You've supported me. You've been such an amazing husband. I hope I've been an equally as amazing wife. I do love to hear it.
You've been awesome. Wife, girlfriend, love interest, all of those things.
But yeah, like I feel.
Shout out to logic, peace, love, positivity.
Yeah, I just feel really lucky, and I feel
chasing. And I don't think we're really. There's no interest in rolling dice. We're not keen on going to Vegas.
Yeah, well, I just feel really lucky and really grateful that I've been through all of those things with you there, because a lot of people go through really tough life decisions and experiences with sometimes no one. So I'm so happy that we've both shared that together, and it's made us into the people that we are today. But on that, we're wrapping up the Childfree series.
Yeah.
This
has been interesting. It's been a great conversation.
Yeah.
Thank you for opening up. I think there's
equally. Thank you for opening up as well. I've seen Ross cry. I could count on my hand in the 16 years that we have been together. He did cry at our wedding when I surprised him with our first dance song, and it was me singing.
Yeah.
Which I'm really glad that you did, because I was like, you didn't cry when I walked down the aisle.
And I was like, fuck, she looks hot. I had to put my hands in front of my pants. Yeah.
We love to hear that after 16 years. Still excited by the view of me. Love that. But yeah, like I think this has been such a great open discussion about so many different questions and experiences and things, and people's questions and feedback, and I think it just really it's become like a space for people to take something positive from.
Yeah, I don't want to be that person who's like, if one person can get something positive from this, it's like,
I can be that person.
I think that's nice. That's cool. But it's just been nice to sit down with you genuinely and to have a conversation and to give you the platform, because you have a bit of a public profile.
Yeah.
And if people really want to know, like, fucking click it, listen to it, and actually understand, like, the in-depth conversation, because I think that there's been some, I'm not pat us on the back, but there's been some pretty well thought out conversation.
Yeah.
Things that have come up, things that haven't been answered, things that you can't answer in a story or a post. So,
and I think you shouldn't
actually
also just judge someone from just one post that you see about them and make an assumption about their life and their experiences. And, you know,
and
I think
again, the bonus is the benefit. If it does help other people on their journey, like, that's fucking cool. That's really cool. Selfishly, though, I'm going to say it's not the reason why we did this. It was actually just nice, genuinely.
Yeah.
Husband to wife. It's actually really nice to sit down with you and to discuss this and hopefully give you a bit of a platform to, because we have these conversations behind closed doors, and one of the things that I've hated is seeing comments come in about you that is like, that's just not her. If you only fucking knew her. So it's been nice to sort of instigate that conversation where people can be like, hey, if you actually genuinely want to know, like, have a listen to this shit.
Yeah, exactly.
If you like it, great. If you don't, I don't really care.
And I've had so many people over the years saying, more Ross, we want to see way more of Ross. So it's so nice to have
like
you
3 people.
have you in front of the camera now instead.
Like maybe 4 people. One of them
have
was
you
Daisy.
in front of the camera instead of always behind. It's really nice to have you join me up on the stage and not just working with me on behind the scenes on things.
Well, it's been awesome.
And show the world how much of a beautiful person you are and how much, like, why I fell in love with you.
Well, I don't think people will gather that from these episodes, but thank you so much for listening. That has been IRL, our child-free life.
IRL.
IRL, yeah.
IRL.
That has been.
I feel like you didn't say that properly.
That has been IRL, our child-free.
IRL. It's so Australian.
Our
IRL.
child-free decision. And we look forward to discussing our next couple of topics.
Yeah, we have, so many life experiences that we've shared with each other over the last
We've got some
couple
pretty
of
strong
years.
opinions on a few things as well.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, lot on, we did, like you said, we touched on it in the first episode, a lot about grief and loss, navigating our 16-year-long relationship, things like
Long distance relationship.
Only for a short period,
but there was still,
It was 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, navigating my sexuality in our relationship, what that looks like.
Looks pretty good. Just saying.
That's going to be a spicy one. I'm actually really fucking nervous about that one, to be honest. But this is what it's about. It's about sharing our real life experiences with you guys and being open and honest, and just being who we are, and hopefully just encouraging people to just kind of lead with a bit of understanding and empathy towards people's choices and
having conversations with hearing opinions, feedbacks, things that maybe people are struggling with, and then like us discussing that as well. It's just like, let's have an open dialogue. How we sort of solve things and move forward, and try and find the best outcome.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for listening. Thank you so much.
Yeah. No.
For being.
I've loved this whole experience.
Daisy,
with you. It's so amazing.
Thank you for being a bit of a brat this episode, to be honest.
She's been so bratty.
You're kind of over it this morning, aren't you?
Yeah, she is. She needs to go and she needs to go do a big poo or something.
Probably.
She's like looking at us like this.
That makes 2 of us.
But
I'm just joking.
Anyway.
Okay. All right.
Thank you guys. Thank you for joining us on what it means to us to live in real life. We love you. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for being a part of this with us. And we can't wait to see you on our next series. Love you. Thanks for tuning in to In Real Life. If you enjoyed this episode, we'd love for you to subscribe on Spotify and connect with us on Instagram at IRL with us. And remember, life isn't about meeting other people's expectations. It's about living it on your terms and meeting your own expectations. So go out there and live in real life. We'll see you next time.